Hi, welcome to another edition of Bringing Hope to Alzheimer's. I'm Ann Frazier, and I'm sitting with my friend Jeff Rigler, who is the owner of the Overland Park Senior Helpers. So how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Good. All right, so let's just start off. So you are the owner of the Overland Park Senior Helpers. Before we get into what you all do, you are a franchise, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes. We provide in-home care for seniors that want to live safely and independently on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And we're part of a franchise. The Senior Helpers of Overland Park covers the Kansas side of the metro. There's a Senior Helpers of Lee Summit that covers the south part of the Missouri side, and then Gladstone, Missouri, that's the Northland Senior Helpers.
Okay, great. And these are in many states. So for our listeners who are listening or watching in other states, this is a franchise that's all over the United States?
That's right. It started in 2002, and it's grown to over 300 locations, not just here in the United States, but also in Canada and Australia.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. So you've been with them since what year?
I joined and took over from the former owners in August of 2021, so about 18 months into my journey.
Awesome. Well, that was during the pandemic.
Yes, so coming out of it, and yes, it definitely home care became, very much the forefront of people's minds in terms of wanting to keep their loved ones safe at home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we all saw the pictures of people who were in facilities or communities, and a lot of seniors at that point decided, I'm going to stay here. As long as I'm still at home, I'm going to stay here. So what services do you guys provide?
Yeah, so we can come in and our caregivers provide non-medical services to these seniors. It could be companionship care, spending time taking them, running errands, spending time playing games or things that they're interested in doing. If they don't have that companionship, or maybe we're giving a break to the primary family caregiver so that they can go out and do things while we're keeping their loved ones safe. In addition, we could do light housekeeping. Our caregivers perform, whether it's laundry, just helping out, just tidying up around the house. In addition, if there's mobility challenges and they need help with activities of daily living like bathing, dressing, grooming, our caregivers can help them perform those things safely and effectively.
And providing food or cooking food or putting stuff together for them to eat?
Meal preparation.
Okay.
They can help run errands, take them to doctor's appointments, doctor's visits as well. We have a lady that we go out and we get her groceries for her and bring them back and then stock her pantry for her each week.
That's nice. Yeah. Good. That is really needed in our communities because as people are getting older and living longer and like I said, during the pandemic, that was a little bit hard for people to think about ever leaving their home. So this provides a great service. Yeah,
the social isolation that many of our seniors experience, especially if the kids don't live close by, they get peace of mind knowing that somebody's coming in there to spend time with mom or dad, engaging them in activities from a quality of life standpoint. That's one of the big focuses that we want to improve as part of our mission statement. We want to help improve the quality of life through a number of different ways like that.
Right. Very good. So you see probably senior citizens that have all kinds of different needs and different abilities. Tell me a little bit about what are you seeing on the Alzheimer's, dementia, cognitive decline front? Are you seeing more people, and what percentage of those people are your clients?
Yeah, one of the things that sets Senior Helpers apart is the Alzheimer's and dementia care training that we provide to our caregivers.
I love that.
What I loved about Senior Helpers and the story, kind of the origin story, was Peter Ross and Tony Bonacuse are the two co-founders, and they both had parents that had needs of their own. And when they looked at the landscape of different agencies at the time, back in 2002, very few of them had specialized training for their caregivers. So it inspired them to build something better, and that they were going to build an agency that really focused on caregiver training and development, which led to us developing a senior GEMS program with TIPA Snow. So we train all of our caregivers in TIPA's senior GEMS program.
Yes, that's awesome.
And it is wonderful. It's one of the best parts of the orientation that our caregivers go through. We've got a Parkinson's care program. We've got staying safe at home programs, a number of different things. But specifically with Alzheimer's and dementia care, I would say out of the clients that we're serving, maybe 30 to 50% have some sort of cognitive decline from early stages. They're kind of in denial and they don't really, they're a little rigid and, maybe getting lost in time and space, all the way up to more late stage dementia, to where we're providing round-the-clock 24/7 care, primarily to give the family a break, and a little bit of respite care for them.
I wish I knew you all when I was caring for my parents, because I cared for them 24/7 for 3 years.
Wow.
And I had both of them with Alzheimer's. So that was really difficult. Let's go to the gala.
Yeah.
You guys are sponsors
for
this year's gala.
Yes.
So how did you learn about the gala? How did you become involved?
Well, when I started with Senior Helpers, I really wanted to immerse myself in the Alzheimer's and dementia community, which led me to getting involved with the Alzheimer's Association, the local chapter here.
Yep.
Met with Ken, and we ended up sponsoring the walk to end Alzheimer's at a tent out there.
Excellent.
And we formed a walk team that our family members and caregivers formed. And that was a great experience for us. And through that journey, I've met a lot of great people along the way, one of those people being Michelle Gerard. And Michelle invited myself, my wife, to go to the gala, and I loved it.
Oh,
I
good.
loved that. I mean, so last year was our first year to attend, and I loved how the funds that were being raised were helping to benefit our local chapter here.
Yep.
Which was fantastic. And I was so inspired by your story as well, and your journey, and the speakers that we had there. And just, it was an amazing night. So when Michelle had talked with me and Nicole had talked with me about doing a sponsorship for the gala, it was a no-brainer for us this year.
That's
because
awesome.
we want to help in any way that we can. And like I said, we're getting more and more involved with the programs from the Alzheimer's Association as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being involved and doing a sponsorship, and it will be, every year it gets bigger and better. So hopefully it'll be just as fun.
Yeah. Well, what a tremendous success it was last year. I mean, you kind of blew it out of the water in terms of the what was raised. Which is the goal.
Well, and from the first year to the second year. The first year we raised a little over $20,000, but we put it together in 4 months, and with only 5 of us girls putting it together, and it was wonderful. But we just went 10 steps higher than we were. So this podcast is all about, as you know, Alzheimer's and dementia and early detection. I'm a big component of the earlier you catch cognitive decline and do something about it, the better off you'll be, which is what I've experienced. And not for everyone, but that's been my experience. Do you have clients that you guys see that would benefit from, like if they're just early stages of having some cognitive issues? Is that anything that you ever are able to sit down and talk with the family about? There are some things you can do to help with brain health or anything. Is that an opportunity you guys ever have?
Yes. The families that we come into contact with, that reach out to us, they're in various stages of their journey.
Yeah.
Some of them, I would say it's more rare to have somebody that is that kind of in tune or astute to, is this cognitive decline, or is this just mom being difficult? A lot of times when we're brought in, it's after a fall has happened, where they've seen it, it's continued to progress, and now a fall has happened, they're coming out of rehab, they need help with the activities of daily living, and by the way, they've been diagnosed with dementia. So we're being brought in a lot of times later in the game, and what I tell families that are being a bit more proactive is that there are things that we can do when we come into the homes, we do a home safety assessment to where We make recommendations of any types of things that are safety risks for seniors that we can spot out. We can make recommendations. Our goal is to prevent hospitalizations. And then for those families that want to have more resources around Alzheimer's and dementia, we started in January a monthly caregiver support group through the Alzheimer's Association that meets at our facility.
Oh, good.
And we've had about anywhere from 7 to 12 people that are attending on a regular basis. We've even been able to invite family members we said, hey, if you want to bring your loved one, if they've got more early stage dementia, we've got Lisa Elliott from Connectivities that can do the Connectivities activity with them while the family members are meeting in a separate room.
That is huge.
From a support group standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was going through it with my parents, I couldn't always find somebody to watch them while I went. And usually it was the times that they were having kind of that sundowning time and they were more difficult. So it was very hard for me to be able to leave them and go to those. So that's fantastic.
Yes.
I love that. Excellent. Okay. So you've talked a little bit about some of the specialized programs that you have. Everybody that's cared for by your group, do you see changes in their lifestyle? Do you see changes in their attitude and the way that they live their life? Does it bring them more joy? Like, what differences do you guys see?
Yeah. I think a couple things. For the loved one that we're caring for, as that relationship is built, continuity of care is really important to us.
It is.
We don't want to send a different caregiver every time to that house because that is not good from a just change standpoint. We need continuity. And as they build relationship and as they build trust, and we explore and get to know their story, their background, the caregivers, we have this whole quality of life activity planner that I usually leave behind in the assessment, and it has over 150 different activities that the family can tell us, or the client himself or herself can tell us, these are the things that I love to do. These are my interests, my hobbies.
Right.
We want to make sure the caregiver knows that so that they're engaging them in that. And once again, it goes back to improving the quality of life through those meaningful activities to them.
Yes.
Could be just making sure they get their favorite cup of coffee in the morning.
Exactly.
Watching their favorite program. But I also would say for the spouse, let's say, that's caring for it, or for the daughter that's stressing out about mom and caring for mom and is the one that's doing 24/7 care for the time. Being able to give that family caregiver a respite and a break, it kind of, I don't know what the best word for it, but that tension in the relationship, it starts to ease because they're no longer at odds with each other, and where the daughter in this case is in a better headspace because she's getting time to recharge her batteries, to go out, have lunch with her girlfriends or get her nails done, not worrying about, is dad okay by himself? Because he's not. He's with a very well-trained caregiver that can. So I do see that impacting the family dynamic in a very positive way.
Yes, I love that. All those things you brought up, that's so important. Just from my experience with my parents taking care of them, that came at the very end where I had to have a little bit of help because it was just, when they're getting up all night long and you're up with them all night long and it becomes a lot.
Yes.
And so just having the same person show up and be there, they know what they like, they know their routine. That's so important. So I love that.
Some of our clients, that's what we do. We're providing just overnight care to give that family member a good night's sleep.
Yes.
Where the caregiver's there, she's up and attentive if that person's going to need help getting back and forth from the bedroom to the toilet.
Yes.
The caregiver's there to take care of that, and the family member gets a good night's sleep because they're going to be on call in the morning when they get up. But that, and that's an example of one of the things that we can do for families too.
Okay, excellent. So what are some of the major hurdles that you have to overcome with families or with the loved one that's needing care?
I would say in some cases, the whole family recognizes that help's needed, but the one who needs it doesn't and is resistant to care. I don't need it. I don't know why we're doing this.
Yes.
So I tend to have to have those conversations with the family members kind of outside of the loved one to get an understanding of what the dynamic is, where the resistance is.
Right.
And then when we come together in those assessments, I'm doing my best to build rapport and to position it in a way that, hey, you might not need the help, but you know what? Your wife could really benefit from this. And these are the things that we're going to do with you to help her.
That's a great workaround.
And so it's like, oh, well, if this is going to help her, well, then why not?
Right.
You know? So I wish it was that easy all the time, but that's just one example of how can we partner together as a family to help help their loved one kind of recognize the value of what we're doing. And two, I think it's helping them understand we're not trying to take your autonomy away.
Right.
We don't want to do things for you. We just want to do things with you.
Yes.
Because that's something that's very important. So they already feel like they're losing a lot.
Yes.
I think seniors in general, they don't like the loss of that, losing their independence.
Exactly.
Losing their car keys, whatever that might be.
Right.
So where we can help give them choices and options, that's a big part of our caregiver training.
Yeah, I was going to say that's TIPA no for sure.
Ask for permission versus just telling them this is what we're going to do.
Exactly. Yeah. When my mom, she could stand in front of her closet, but she couldn't figure out how to pick a shirt and pants. She just couldn't do that. So I would pull them out and say, do you want to wear the blue one or the pink one? And she'd go, that one. And I'm like, point to which one, or she'd say the purple one and that wasn't an option. I'd be like, okay, great. And I grab it, and it's not purple, but, and just not arguing, but I love that approach. You guys do such great work here in Kansas City. How do people get a hold of you here in Kansas City on the Johnson County side? Yeah,
so they can call our number. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
Our number is 913-851-4800.
Okay.
You can go to seniorhelpers.com and look for our Kansas location. We're actually the only territory in the state of Kansas.
Oh, wow.
At this point, there are several on the Missouri side, but we're the only one on the Kansas side right now. And we cover pretty much the whole Kansas side of the metro.
Okay.
But whether it call, email us, I'll provide some information in terms of where we can send your list.
And we'll put that in here. And then if somebody lives in another state, would they just go to seniorhelpers.com?
Yes. And then they can look at I Need Care. They plug in their zip code, and it would actually direct them to the closest territory or the closest franchise location.
Excellent. So what else? Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah. So one of the things that I love about where we've moved out, we used to be in the South Creek office, this office park out here at 130th and Metcalf. We moved in July to a new location at College Metcalf Plaza there in the northwest corner.
Yep.
And we've built what we call a Center of Excellence training facility. And it's set up to mirror a senior's home, where we've got a kitchen, bedroom, living room, bathroom, and a little stairwell in between. And what we use it for is it's a caregiver training facility to where we train them on how to spot safety risks in each of these rooms. Oh, wow. So if you go in there, I give the caregivers a minute and say, spot as many safety risks as possible.
Oh, wow.
And then we debrief that. And the goal is, one, I'm explaining to them, this is what I do on the front end in terms of the recommendations, but more importantly, this is what I want you to do each and every shift. I want you to be looking for things that could cause hospitalization. So that risk identification is an important part of the training. And then we also use it for skills training. We've got a Hoyer lift in the bedroom where we can teach them on how to use the Hoyer lift properly.
Right.
Sit to stand transfers in the living room. In the bathroom, we've got a tub bench. So we are able to not only provide training to our caregivers, but if family members want to come in and they want to learn some skills and techniques, that's something that we offer. And then lastly, I became certified to do the virtual dementia tour and to provide that tour. And we've incorporated that now as a part of our caregiver orientation. So everybody goes through that. It simulates what it's like to have mid-stage dementia. And you walk away with more compassion and empathy for those that are living with it. But you're also walking away with great strategies and pointers and techniques based on the things that you picked up through the experience.
Right. I just got to do this recently.
You did. What was your experience like?
I was so confused. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I was confused because when she gave me the instructions, you had the earphones on and the glasses on and the gloves on, I was just like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, I just kept like milling around the room trying to figure out what to do.
Yes.
So
it's so powerful.
Oh my gosh.
We started offering this to the community on a quarterly basis. We'll just open it up for a few hours.
Free of charge?
Free of charge for anyone that wants to go through it. The first time we did it, I had a pastor and his wife go through it because they had members in their congregation. They wanted to have a better understanding.
That's excellent.
Family members are going through it. So it has been a great addition to the offerings that we're doing. And now I'm going into facilities and training some of their memory care staff because they have, ongoing needs and requirements for training. And many of them, while they've been working with Alzheimer's and dementia residents, they don't have a lot of training on this. And this is just elevating the care of all of our caregivers in the community. And so I feel like this is my way of giving back by doing that in these facilities, which I love.
That is so great. Because once you understand what someone's going through, then you have a lot more empathy towards them.
Yes.
And it almost made me sad to think that's how my mom and dad were, that they were, just kind of confused about what they were. And my mom would sometimes say, what am I supposed to be doing right now? And I'd say, nothing. We're just relaxing.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Well, it has been I've learned so much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. Well, thank you for your support for the gala and for being here on the podcast and letting people know about what great work you guys do.
I appreciate it. It's an honor to be a part of the gala.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you guys next time on the next edition of Bringing Hope to Alzheimer's. Thanks so much. Take care.